lower back pain. Lower back pain. Oh my God. Lower back pain. It fucking kills. It hurts. It's horrible. It's impossible to live with, to deal with, you know. Lower back pain. So with me, my lower back pain has been with me for fucking years. It's chronic. It really messes me up. It's the reason, one of the main reasons why I got chicken legs, is because every time I get some progress and start going up in weight a bit, I get the lower back spasm, you know, like, so I'm this close to going to a chiropractor again. I went a few years ago. I had 2 sessions. I had one with someone that was, she was a female, quite small, and I was quite big at the time, and she couldn't get a good snap. You know, she did her best, but it didn't really make much difference. It was pretty much a waste of money. And this is not a sexist thing. This is just like she was very small compared to the size I was at the time, and she really couldn't pull off the snap in the way that I wanted to. However, I went to this guy. He was a martial arts teacher himself, and he was a chiropractor, you know. He was telling me he teach martial arts, and he was showing me like his classes and all this shit. And when he snapped my back and he did all the clicking and all that stuff, it was completely different to the woman that I previously went to. Like, he was like, man, all the sounds, you know, like what you see on TV, he did all that stuff. Snapped me the fuck up, and it was really, really good. I felt really refreshed. I felt like a new person that day. I was like, you know, coming out of the caveman age and walking upright and stuff. Also, he said that my main source of my lower back pain was due to my feet. They were rather flat, like, you know, like you get flat-footed people. My feet were flat, and he advised me to get insteps. So I have these things I always have in my shoes, and it's just like, I need some new ones. These are like, it just gets the arch of your foot to raise up a bit, so that it supports your stance and stuff. So before I was standing flat, so any weights that I do is going to put a lot of stress on the lower back, and just standing in general would put a lot of pressure on my lower back. So this helps me raise my arches in my feet and just give me a better stance and better foundation. Now, the reason recently why I've been getting it is probably because I'm due. Like, this was years ago, man. This is like 6 or 7 years ago I had this chiropractor do all this stuff, and I haven't been since. But recently I've been getting them because I've been doing a lot of squats. And, you know, I thought my form was good, it was decent, do you know what I mean? And I was doing it for a while. I had lower back pain, but it was getting over it. The next day it was fine, you know, the next couple of days it would be back to normal. And then one day I thought, well, my legs are small, my chest is really strong, and I'm benching so much on my chest, I want to match what I'm benching on my chest with my legs, so that my physique, you know, gets more symmetry, matches up better, like the ratio, the size. But that was so dumb. I ended up snapping the fuck out my back. It was fucked. It was like in pain. It was twisted. Like, you could literally look in the mirror and I was like slanted. So the spasm just locked right up, and I was walking around like this for days, you know. It took ages to heal. And my sister said that she's a physiotherapist, and what she said is that when your back goes through that sort of stress, what it does, it just locks up, because it says, no, I'm not going to let you put any more pressure on here, because you're going to end up breaking your fucking spine. So what it does, it locks up, and that's what a spasm is. So the muscle spasm just says, no, I'm not letting you do any more of this exercise, because you're going to break your spine. So that was me, and I was like, you know, got better, went back to the gym, wasn't 100%, but I thought, let me go back in and start squatting with 15 kg on each side of the bar. So going really light and taking it easy, and everything was fine. It wasn't too bad. It felt good. My lower back always hurts anyway, but it was just a lot better than usual. And this guy that was in a good physique, you know, I only take advice from guys that have either been in a good physique or they are in good physique. And this guy was in really good shape, and I was explaining to him about my back problems and so on, and he said, let me look at your form. So I did the squat, and he was like, straight away, he was like, look, I can see what it is, I can see your problem, you know? And there was a few things that just needed tuning up in my squat to make it a lot better. And I did what he said, and boy, it felt so much better. Just tiny little tune-ups and tweaks in my form made the whole experience of squatting a whole lot better. And I recorded him doing a squat, a couple squats, so I will put that on maybe into this video, or I'll put it into another video in the future and show you what he did. But basically, so I was doing a normal squat, so I was in the mirror, going down, and I go ass to grass, you know, my ass touching my ankles, and then I came back up, yeah? So it was just a normal squat, you know, sticking your ass out, making everything proper. But then what he told me is a few things, which was, instead of having my hands out, make everything up here tight. So instead of just being normal like that, make it all very tight. He said make the bar go a bit lower on your back, but I do that anyway. So I had it low, but he just said that, but I do that anyway, but it's just the way that I roll it off. I had it there straight away, and then I roll it off as I step back up, so I roll it a bit down. But he said always have it from the start a bit lower on your back, like on your shoulder blades or whatever you want to call it. So very tight instead of like this, very tight. And then the one main thing that he said I wasn't doing was I was looking directly in front of me when I should be looking up. Like find a spot a bit higher up and focus on that spot while as you go all the way down. So this makes complete sense to me, because when you ride a motorbike, I sometimes ride a motorbike. I don't know what the actual term for it's called, but it's kind of like where you look, you're going to go. So if you look this way and you're riding a bike, your body's gonna just move the weight of the bike gently into that direction, and you might not even realize it's doing it. It's just like unconscious. You go where you look. And it's very popular. It's something you learn when you learn how to ride a bike, like a super bike, you know. So because you kind of look at the apex, you look like where you want to go for the next. When you're looking at a line, if you're racing motorbikes, you look towards like where you want the bike to go, and that's how you get the lead. And that's how these guys, you know, got the knee touching the ground and stuff like that, because you're looking in the direction that you're going. So when you're doing this and you're looking straight ahead, you're not focused on, like, your body's gonna just not naturally get into that position where it needs to be, unless you've got a lot of experience doing this. So he said, look up at fixed position and then squat, and my body just locked into a sort of form that was a lot more supportive than the one that I was previously doing. So really tight, closed in, look up, and then come down. So then the other thing that he noticed was that my heels were lifting a little bit on sometimes when I was doing my squat. So he was saying push through your heels, you know, don't have any of, like, your toes should be free and be able to wiggle and stuff like that. You know, so I've been focusing on that a lot more. I haven't mastered pushing through the heels. I'm still using a lot of the kind of balls of my feet, but I'm definitely getting a lot better, and it feels a lot more locked in on my back. And the final thing that he said to me was get a proper belt, because the belt that I was using is like, it's a good belt, but it's not amazing at all. And I used his belt, and it was one of those ones that you have to put on and lock in, like a thick leather belt, and it felt a lot more supportive on my back. So I'm definitely gonna get myself one of those or something similar to that, because I used to use the leather belt back in the days, and then I went on to like this sort of like one that you just, like a Velcro, it's still heavy, but it's a Velcro one, and it just felt a lot tighter. But it's not necessarily the tightness that you need, it's more the thickness and the strength that makes you, the support more supportive. So I'm definitely gonna get myself one of them pretty soon. Also, fuck it, I'm gonna get it today. And also, there was, so that was that. So my squat, a lot better, just because of that little advice that I got from him in the gym, which reminds me, you should always ask people that are in really good shape or have a physique that you want to get, or if they got really big legs and you want to know how you do it, just ask them. Most people are pretty cool with you asking them. They'll be happy to tell you and give you tips, you know, pick their brain, you know, get as much information as you can from them. You don't have to agree with it all or use it all, but just take what you like and add it to your arsenal of weapons of building muscle. So a guy that I watch is the online coach, Raymond something. He's on YouTube, he's got like his own YouTube channel, thousands of followers and all that stuff. And he did a recent squat video, and he said from the side, he drew like a line on the screen of the video of him doing a squat. And he had the bar, so he had the bar like here, and as he's going down, the bar is staying in line with this line that he had on the screen, so it was straight all the way down. So instead of you know, you going back a bit or like going forward a bit, the bar was from the side was always straight, you know. Definitely check out that video. It's one of his recent ones, and now it is middle of July 2016. So find his video and check that out, because it just has this. This was a pole, and he's got the edge of the bar, and it's just in line with the pole all the way down throughout the squat and all the way back up. So I try and do that now. It's a lot harder than it looks, but I'm getting there with that. And the last piece of advice was someone from his video that said, breathe in on the way down and breathe out when you get up. So not on the way up, you know, like before I used to kind of like breathe in, so, and then breathe out on as I'm coming up, so like that. But he said no, breathe out when you get to the top. It's something you forget naturally, but I've added it to my squats, and I get a lot more power as I'm coming up, and then I let the breath release. And it feels really good, because you feel a lot more tighter and a lot more secure. And remember, I'm doing this to protect my back, so that's definitely helping with me as far as that goes. Because if you breathe out as you're coming up, you kind of, your lungs are going to be in a different way and stuff like that. So you're probably going to just be, you can possibly be a tiny bit off balance just from your breath. So I'm going to continue to do that and master it and get better at it. And if there's any tips that you guys might have, then feel free to comment and let me know what advice you might be able to give. And I'll definitely check it out, you know? Because this is what it's all about. It's about me perfecting my form with things like that, because I'm no expert by any means. But those tips has definitely helped me a lot with my squat. And hopefully it will let me grow some fucking bigger legs too, you know? So anyway guys, thank you for that.